confidence, just going with the latest projection that we had, that investors now, they're looking towards Kenya as a destination for, for them to come and stake, their investment here. So isn't that also a good sign that is, The
investor confidence is based on the stock exchange. There's not actually putting money into nuts and bolts in Kenya. A lot of money that is coming here is actually being put in the stock exchange. And that operates perfectly. Very clear, very transparent, very good rules.
Well, but we have a blue chip company like BlackRock.
Yeah.
When we talk about
so where are they putting their money?
That was it.
I think it depends.
No. When we are looking at the renewable energy, which also we have, a huge expanse of a geothermal here. We also will be actually a net exporter of energy soon if we try and also put our act together. Yes. Yeah.
When you talk about that,
yes, that's what I'm talking about. So if we have a company like BlackRock that will look amongst the 10 nations in Africa and choose Kenya, don't you think then there's maybe a shining factor that maybe all of us are not seeing?
The financial services space, which is BlackRock's area, that's where they go, right? But if you talk about somebody coming to put a manufacturing thing to change, to add value to agriculture, who's done that? Who has come here to put a big fishing company? Nobody has done that.
Wait, Dangote is coming soon?
No,
but he's going to refinery.
I'm talking about just
Dangote.
Kenya.
No, I'm talking. That is one big investment. But for us as a country to grow, we've talked about the blue economy forever. Who's put up a fish canning facility here? Who's coming to do trolling? Those are the investments this country requires. Dangote, yes, he's going to come in, but what is he going to do? He's going to get crude from all over the world, add value and export it. That's all he's going to do. He's seen a market which is not Kenya, it's beyond Kenya. And we will have to give a lot of concessions for that money to come into this country.
And by the way, Kenya is more nearer to East to the Asian countries.
To the Asian countries. Yeah. So he's got his, he knows what he's doing.
He's got in his mouth. But you need to bring something here.
I just wanted to put a point here about one of the things that the political class has to change in this country is culture. If you look at the success of various countries, like
absolutely, it is.
Lee Kuan Yew, what did he do? He talked about integrity, and he put in a meritocracy. And also the simple thing that he did, Singapore is clean. People talk about the fact that you can't throw a chewing gum.
Right, but
whatever it is,
Yeah, you can always talk about
Look at Japan.
But
look at all these countries.
Yeah, before we even go to, why don't we also talk about the dark side of the leadership of Lee Kuan Yew?
No.
When you want to really clamp down corruption, how did he handle it as well? Because I think we've been having sentiments of a benevolent dictator here in this country recently.
The reason I talked about Lee Kuan Yew was not about how he did it. What I'm talking about, the culture that was created in that country, which is what is living up to now, is meritocracy and integrity.
But the journey towards that particular culture also was not very flowery.
We want to agree.
Look at Rwanda. Rwanda is the shining star of East Africa. How has it gone there? A strong leader.
But on the democracy index, does it really fly high?
But China.
Because there's a flip side.
I hear where you are. I hear where you are, but you also need to hear a little bit that it's not. We are not going to Singapore to celebrate democracy. No, in fact, we are saying we are celebrating development there. And if you look at development in the 70s and 80s, as we are looking at, it is not democracy that delivered it. It's more of strongman leadership, a more resolute, in fact, ruthless leadership. Focused on focused on certain deliverables. I mean, you are corrupt, you are my brother, you are what? The law is the law, we fix you. So that is also okay. And again, when you look at development generally, democracy is important for development, but development does not always have the same trajectory with democracy.
Exactly.
So sometimes look at even what's happening on the global scale, and you can even look at America and so on. that you have semblances of reverse of democracy does not necessarily mean that nothing is happening in the economics. So back to the Lee Kuan Yew's and back to the Malaysia and even China. China is not developing because of democracy. So it's a good ideal, and sometimes we want to say that even as we look to those countries, and he started by saying that culture is important. You see, if you look at Japan, for example, a country that was destroyed, it's the culture of Japanese on hard work and shame around certain things, that you commit suicide when you are a failure in some ways. Now, you don't like the culture of suicide, but that's what their pride drives them to, that if you are ashamed of yourself, you are the first one. Here, if you are ashamed of yourself, you say, I would rather die than resign. So those kind of cultures will not help us to move forward. You have gone, you've been given an office, you have messed it up, and when we tell you now resign, you say, I would rather die. So with those kinds of culture or those kinds of behavior, we are not likely to inspire confidence in the economy and confidence in the leadership. So today, when you look at Goonism, for example, that you want to win through hook or crook, and you want to maim people, you want to have the blood of people for you to be a leader, that does not send the right messages, not to investors, not to even people who would have come to do better things, like Professor here. If you told him to go and try to be a leader, he'll tell you, no, I don't have the capacity to be a
because I would lie.
You would lie, and you also